Do you find it difficult to save money or plan for your year because of irregular income? Maybe you have a hard time staying up with taxes, maybe it feels impossible to build emergency funds, or you just can't get rid of that debt because you don't know when the money's going to come in or how much is going to come in. If you'd like to learn how to stabilize your irregular income, stick with me for the next few minutes. Hi, my name is Lucas, and for the last 3 decades, I've been working as a photographer, a DJ, a real estate investor, and a small business owner. I love the freedom and flexibility of my lifestyle, but not knowing when I'm going to get paid or how much has always been stressful. Now, the good news is I've learned a lot from my time in the trenches. It turns out that stabilizing irregular income can actually be pretty simple to do. From real estate pros to creatives, from business owners to commission sales, every one of my clients asks me how to stabilize their irregular income. And when they first come to me, they all are doing the same exact thing. They are hustling to make more money. But they're so busy doing that they overlook a much simpler solution. In my experience, the easiest way to stabilize irregular income is to build a surplus in your accounts and insulate yourself from the lean times. So think of it like this. In preparation for the winter, a squirrel will gather and stockpile nuts. Each time she comes across them, she's preparing herself for the lean times. If you'd like to create more stability around your irregular income, be more like the squirrel. So let's get to it. Now, the first thing to do is figure out which areas of your life need money. You see, a squirrel doesn't hide all of her nuts in one place. She spreads them out, and now so can you. So let me give you an example. I have a business that needs money. I have to set aside money for taxes. I like nice things and I like to do fun stuff, so that requires money. And I neglected my savings for a long time, so I like to put money towards that. Now it's your turn. Which areas of your life require money on a regular and consistent basis? Go ahead and write them down. You may spend money on 120 different things, but our goal is to streamline and simplify your finances. So after you write everything down, I want you to group them into 3 or 4 main categories. For instance, I put groceries, meals and entertainment, my mortgage, my utilities, insurance bills, all of that stuff I need to live. So I just call that my living expenses, and that's group 1. Now for the money that I owe to other people, like taxes and debt, well, I put that into a category and I called that the dough I owe. Now, if you've never done this, just this exercise alone can be quite helpful to break down your finances and then simplify them into a couple of main categories. Pretty easy. Now that you've identified the main areas of your life, you can start building your stockpiles. So every time the money comes in, the idea is to spread it out and make sure that each area receives money. For example, every time I receive money, I immediately send some to my savings account, so that's paying myself first. I send some to my business account, send some to my tax account, and some to my living expenses. That way, each area of my life has what it needs, and I can start to sleep soundly because I know that I'm covered. Because I do this every time I get paid, the surplus starts to grow. Now, in my savings account, it grows the fastest and the highest because once a dollar goes in, I never take it back out. Now, my business, my living expenses, and my taxes, I spend from those accounts much more often, so they fluctuate. But over time, there's a surplus that does grow. Have you ever had a prospective client ask you for a discount on the very first phone call? Early in my career, I had a few of these, and against my better judgment, I took the gigs because my accounts were empty. Thing was, every one of those clients was unpleasant to work with. They complained about everything, they asked for more discounts, and they demanded more of my time and energy. Now, I compromised myself because I didn't know when I was going to get paid next, and maybe you can relate to that. So, just for fun, I want you to imagine for a moment that you have a $10,000 stockpile in your business account right now. And in your living expenses, your taxes, and your savings accounts, you also have $10,000 each. If you had a $40,000 surplus in your accounts right now, would you say yes to somebody who doesn't respect you or your services? If you were sick, would you still take the gig? Or would you relax knowing that you're financially covered? You see, when we learn how to stockpile our funds, when we learn how to stabilize our irregular income and insulate ourselves from the lean times, everything shifts. And we get to choose who we spend our time and energy with. And that is worth its weight in gold. Now, at this point in the lesson, most of my clients will say the same thing. Lucas, this sounds great, but I don't actually have money to stockpile. All of it gets spent on bills. So it doesn't actually have to stay that way. You see, most people have a lot more money available to them than they realize. So if you're curious to see how much money you could be keeping each year, of your own money, by the way, not making more, comment the big split and set up a one-on-one call with me. I'm going to send you a little questionnaire to make sure that we're a good fit. And if so, I'm going to walk you through your income and expenses and show you how much of your own money you could be keeping. And I'll do that for you for free. Now, let's look at the third step to stabilizing a regular income. Luckily, it's pretty straightforward. Every time the money comes in, send some to each of your stockpiles, and over time, they will grow. Now, if the money's coming in pretty often, those accounts will grow rapidly. If the money's slow going, that's okay. It just requires more patience and to stick to the plan. Now, let's say the money is really, really tight and you're just worried about putting food in your stomach and keeping the lights on. That's fine too. Those things happen in life. So in that situation, take the bulk of your check, put it towards your living expenses. That's the most important. But send a small percentage, even if it's just 1%, to your savings, your taxes, whatever accounts you set up. This is a symbolic gesture of taking care of you and sticking to the plan. Whether it's an off season, a downturn in the economy, or you just want to take some time off, you don't have to be at the mercy of a regular income. And rather than chasing after more money and hustling, focus on what you actually have control over. Build stockpiles for your business and your personal life. As always, thank you so much for your time and energy. I'll see you in the next one.